Okay, so this is just a tutorial on how to access and use your Google Drive. So it's a very basic thing for those of you that haven't used Drive yet. This is just going to be an intro to Drive so that you can log into any shared documents or meeting notes. So I'm going to sign in. I would sign in with my Google account, which is your first initial last name, all that. I'm going to sign in with a test account so that you can see. Okay, and I'm going to sign in. And this brings me back to this page. I'm going to go over to Drive, click on the little Apps tab there in Drive. And then you're going to it'll bring you to this. And actually, when if you haven't logged into Drive yet, it will actually look more like this with Create, My Drive, Shared with Me, Starred. If you see this, I would suggest, you don't have to, but I'd suggest that you go over to the gear icon over here. That's your settings. Go to Experience the New Drive, because Google was going to probably roll this out anyway. And instead of having to learn it two different ways, you might as well just learn it once. So what you have, you'll probably have something blank here. It'll actually give you a little tour. You can click out of the tour because I'm going to give you that tour now. And you have a place where you can create documents. So if I go up to New, I can either upload files that are on my desktop, either at home or at work. I can upload them and save them into this, and then that will allow me to work on them wherever I am. So you can upload files or folders of files, and it will load it there. You can create a Google document, spreadsheet, presentations, anything that you would normally do on your office computer, you can do there. You'll also find work that's been shared with you. So things that have been shared would be in this incoming. You can see multiple people here. And you would go into this and click on whatever document it is. And once you click on that document, you'll either be able to view it, or you can change it sometimes, depending on the permissions that the person that shared the document with you gave you. So you may not be able to share. You may not be able to edit things based on what the share preferences are. So in this document that somebody sent to me, I can't edit it. I can't go in here. I can't do anything. All I have the ability to do is look at it. Now, if I did want to change it, if it was a template, let's say, for a parent letter, or a template for a student that's going to be working on something, I don't want the original to be corrupted by somebody else working on it. What I can do is go over here and make a copy for myself. And this will make a copy of this assignment. I click OK, and now I have my own version of that in my Drive. And Drive is your file sharing. And now, once this loads, I will be able to go in here and I can change it however I want. So this is another way that you can allow students, you can give access to this to students. They could then create their own copy, and then they can make their own version of it. So if you have an assignment, let's say, you could have them answer the questions in this document and then turn it right back into you. That's a little bit more of an advanced feature, but these documents are automatically saved. There is no save button because they're automatically saved. You can share this with somebody else if you like, which would go up over here to the share button, and I can show you that at some point. All the options, but you would just add the person's email address here and then share the document with them, and then they would have access to it. When you're done, you just close out of it. It automatically saves it, and that new document should be right here. So that's the document that I created, that copy of that classroom assignment. That's in where we call My Drive. The incoming is, again, the files that are shared with you. So if somebody shares a document with you, this is where you have to look. And then you should have access to it. It's as easy as that. I'm just trying to think of other things that I can show you in here. You can also, I have a couple folders here. You can add folders into this drive so that you can organize your work if you want. I'm going to create that new folder. If the document that is shared with you is something that you use often, you can always just click and drag it into the folder that you want it to go into. If I take the document and move it into a different folder so that I can have access to it. And this is one of those things that if I click up here on move to folder, I can organize it into a different folder, and that will bring this up. And I can put it into this classroom, this new folder. Click on it. It's saved in that new folder now. So when I go back to my drive and I go into my new folder, it should be there. There it is. The other thing is just a visual thing here. You can have different views. So this is just more of a file view where files are categorized underneath each other, sort of like this. This grid view is more of a profile or a thumbnail view. So you can see a thumbnail of each of the documents. You can also, if I double click on this folder, I can change the color of the folder, change the color to red. And then now when I go into my drive, it's a little bit more visual, easier to see if you have a lot of stuff going on there. So that's what we're looking at in terms of documents and how to use this Google Drive. That's how you find the documents that have been shared with you. If you have questions, as always, email me and I will swing by and help you. I plan on having some more things some more help lessons at the beginning of school some point.